Bonjour and good morning. We're coming to you today from just near Perpignan, Saint Nazaire, just on the coast, about less than an hour from the Spanish border. We just spent a wonderful week in Provence. Some real highlights were the Roman arenas. The Pont du Gard was just fabulous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, we're pretty excited. We've finally got the paperwork through for the change of ownership for our car after it got lost, and we're going to head across the border to Spain today. So it's been a wonderful 6 weeks in France, but it's definitely time to move on.
Try a new country.
Try a new country, new language, new experience. It's got to be good. Enjoy this week's video. We'll see you again soon.
Yep.
We should have shown you a little bit more about where we are. It's a beautiful setting actually, but we'll do a quick 360. We're just about the only ones on the beach, which you couldn't say that about here in summertime. The water's dead calm. It might be a bit too much sun on the camera, but it's just a lovely setting there. And Spain is just down there in the distance. You can see that's where we'll be later on today. It's only about an hour's so drive.
Yay!
Hey, see you everyone. We're at the Roman amphitheatre in Orange. Its claim to fame is that it's the most well preserved Roman amphitheatre in Europe, so much better preserved than the Colosseum. We were here on our last trip some 31.5 years ago. Don't really remember that well, but what I do remember is this side of it, where they've really replaced or gone over the top of the old steps that we went up last time and have replaced them with new steps. They regularly have events here, so it's well used, but it's a fairly impressive wall. There used to be 72 columns. You can see 2 full ones there and a few other ones there, but there used to be 3 layers. You can see the different white layers there. There was 3 layers going up, and there was 72 columns decorating the back of the stage wall there. There's a shot from the other side. We're standing right at the top, which apparently was reserved for the beggars, prostitutes and foreigners, so it's kind of appropriate that we're up here today.
We're foreigners.
Oh, I thought we were prostitutes, but so this is the concourse area at the top, so you could equate this with one of our stadiums. There would be beer stalls, pizza, all sorts of takeaway food all along here. So not a lot's changed in the design of theatres. This theatre was used throughout the years, and that's why it's so well preserved and didn't get destroyed along the way. It's always been used for a lot of Roman theatre. This concourse looks more like the one that would have had shops, takeaway food, each of these little areas here. Not sure if I mentioned, but this was actually built in around 35 AD, so it predates the Colosseum by I think about 35 years, might have been a bit more, 70 years maybe. They've put a roof across here. Now when we came last time that did not exist. I think they said that was in 2005 they put that in.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Look at this, we're at the Arc de Triomphe.
Woohoo! Gosh, we went a long way in one day, didn't we?
Before you said, yeah, no, we're not in Paris. We're in Orange. But yeah, this is the Arc de Triomphe in Orange.
Huh.
Pretty
Very
cool
nice.
place.
Actually, Orange is very clean. That's something we've noticed. There's no dog shit on the footpath. You're not dodging dogs and dog shit everywhere.
Which is a big difference from where we were in Beaucaire just yesterday. We noticed there was a hell of a lot of dog poo on that you had to constantly watch your feet. But here it's nice and clean, and let's have a better look and get us ugly mugs out of the way. Let's have a look at the Arc de Triomphe. the Arc de Triomphe here was built in the 1st century, about the same time as the Roman amphitheatre we just saw in Orange. So it's got some pretty cool buildings here in Orange. We're in a beautiful square, and if we look over here, we're being filmed by another film crew over here. Let's have a look at the detail inside the arch here. Definitely eroding away a bit with the weather, but underneath the arch there it's pretty detailed, pretty cool. This is our spot for the night, Chateau de Pape. That's the town. We're just out of there, we just parked in behind that tree, and this is
Run by the
Mousset family Chateau de what is it? Caves de Chateau des Vins Roches. And she's a beautiful building. And we've got a beautiful view out over the valley, or the flats should I say, really. We're surrounded by vineyards. Life's tough. Hopefully in the morning we'll be able to have a look inside. She's just closed up for the night. Looking down there you can see the Rhone River sort of halfway along the horizon there. Found a secret door. Where's this go? Garden, is it? Oh, I see. More statues. So they've got a restaurant here, unfortunately not open tonight. Wow, what a beautiful terrace. Distillery des Vins Roches. Nice spot. Not bad for a free camping spot, is it? And a swimming pool. Can we use that? Hotel du Spa. Bonjour. Beautiful day today. We're coming to you from Pont du Gard, just outside of Avignon. There she goes, built in about the 1st century, and it's about 50 metres tall apparently, and it's the only example of a 3-tiered aqueduct. So along the top there it carried water. So the aqueduct itself was 50 kilometres long, so it carried water back from the Roman days. Along the bottom tier you can walk across, it's like a normal bridge. So let's go and explore further. We're just walking along the trail from the Pont du Gard, and they've even made a roundabout in the middle of the trail, so we have to follow the roundabout rules and go this way around. There's an intersection of two crisscross trails, I suppose, so we need a roundabout, of course, because we're in Europe. Okay, we've walked along the trail a bit and found some more of the aqueduct that was remaining, so ta-da. No, it's not a big pizza oven, but there's a bunch of other arches and various degrees of deterioration, I guess you'd call it. This one here is probably the best, the most intact. Bonjour, we're just chilling, sitting here next to the Pont du Gard. Beautiful day, very relaxing.
We've just had some lunch. a very light lunch, and yeah, just chilling basically.
It's a really nice atmosphere this time of year when not too many tourists around, pretty quiet. If we pan across around here, there is a big old ancient cave over there, and further around there is Les Terrasses, little restaurant there. But the real star is behind us, that just sitting here contemplating 2,000 years ago it being built is just quite mind-blowing really. So a bit of history, you'll see on the bottom row there's a road bridge that was built in the 1700s. You may be able to see in the halfway along, you can see there's this, in the arches you'll see that there's been an extension, so it's extended out this side, and you can actually drive across, well, you could drive across it back in the day. It's been through a few renovations over the years. The last major one was in the 1800s when Napoleon III came along and saw it, and because he liked Roman stuff he commissioned a major renovation. It's survived some major floods, hasn't it, Claire?
Yes.
What did you find out about floods?
So there was in the, was it the
1950s there was a
50s,
big flood.
and it came up to above where the road is, so above the first tier it hit. So all of this area that we're sitting in would have been flooded. And then 1980s there was another huge flood that did a lot of damage, swept away houses and things, and then the third flood was in 2002.
Beautiful river area, some big rocks down there. Nice old, what I think is a moulin, mill. I didn't actually read about that one, but that's what it looks like. Up there you can see the plaque to Napoleon III when he did his renovation. That white piece. Now you can see the bridge that was built in the 1700s along the side of it. Actually, you don't notice it from the side, but it's quite so wide. Sorry, can't get enough of this. It's just a stunning setting. Bonjour. No, we're not in Rome, and this is not the Colosseum. We're in Nîmes, or Nîmes for the English pronunciation. Pretty impressive Colosseum, or arena.
Right, let's go in.
Let's go and have a look. Hey Claire, there you go.
Good.
What do you think of this Roman arena?
This feels pretty authentic. More authentic than the one in Orange the other day. But it's pretty awesome, actually. It's pretty big.
It's a different purpose than the one. Orange, it was more about theatre. This is an actual gladiator arena.
And we've just heard that the floor of the arena is sand, and it is used to soak up the blood that's spilled, and then during the day, every so often they will go out and turn the sand over
to stop it smelling
in the sun.
Yeah. Finally made it down onto the arena floor. Interesting fact is, arena was Latin for sand. And that's why the arena has sand on it. Okay, we're here at Maison Carrée in Nîmes. This is the best example in the world, apparently, of a Roman temple. Classic Roman temple to Augustus. It has the pillars at the front and the temple inside. There's many of them around the world, but this is the best example of it, apparently. A very typical French scene. We're in Nimes, or Nîmes. Okay, we've climbed the hill and then up the 150 stairs of Tour Magne. I'm not pronounced that way, probably a bit windy on the mic, but we've got a beautiful view of Nîmes. Down below you can see the Jardin de Fountain of the Garden of Fountain, and the boulevard down there, which is the path to Jean Carrée. If we pan around, you can see the arena where we were earlier, and round to the Notre Dame Cathedral, which we haven't been to, but this is inside the Tour de Magne, up the spiral staircase and looking down. Here comes Claire. Claire likes stairs. Bonjour. We're currently in Arles, or Arles. This is, I guess, the second arena, or if you can count the Orange Theatre, which in Arles we have side by side an arena and a theatre, so we get a double today. This arena was built in 90 AD, and today it's set up, as you can see, very much for bullfighting. So we're in the Camargue region of France, which they love their bullfighting. This arena is pretty well preserved. Well, probably you can see some of the stonework steps still pretty well preserved, but obviously scaffolding up for seating. They do use it regularly for events, for bullfighting in particular. And this one is a little bit different in that it has got towers all around it. 1, 2, 3 large towers, and we get to walk up that tower over there. Right, this is the view from the top of the tower, looking back across to the Rhone. Downstairs there's a few cafes.
And over there is where all the cruise ships, the longboats.
The canal cruise boats.
Cruise boats, yeah.
And this is the top of the arches, you can see here. And you can see the top of the inner ring there, the steps coming down and back into the arena. A little bit of interesting information about the arena. In the Middle Ages it was used as effectively as a fortified village. You can see the picture there, the houses inside.
Just like the one in Nimes.
Also Nimes was the same, and they added those towers. They had 4 of them originally as a defensive structure. Okay, so over there you can just see the arena we've been in, and we've just moved over to the theatre. So this is a semicircular theatre, similar set up to the orange one, but obviously no fancy theatre wall. So the cultural events, comedies, plays would be held here, and the blood sports and chariot races would be held over in the arena. Again, I think that would be an added tower that was probably added in the medieval stage for a defence, not original. But the seating here is much better preserved than the arena or orange, and we don't have all the scaffolding up over top of it. Pretty cool. Nice big marble floor. So I've just finished reading a book by Alphonse Daudet, which is set in Provence. It's a bit like, I guess, A Year in Provence from the 1800s or something like that. But it is set in this area, and we managed to come to see it today. It is Fontvale, and there is a number of windmills here. I'll pan around now, and you can check out over there in the distance. There is a restored windmill, and if we pan around here, we've got another partially restored windmill, which when it's open you can actually walk up and view through the holes in the roof there. But there's 4 windmills along here. Apparently most of what he wrote is actually imaginary, so it's a lot of short stories about people in this region, mixed imagination with reality. He talks about living in a windmill, which is further up, which you can't see from here, but I'll put some photos in. But apparently that is fake, and he talks about buying the windmill, which is actually fantasy as well. So interesting spot, lovely day for a walk. Okay, this is what they call Alphonse Tourday's actual windmill. In the book he talks about buying it and from here writing all his letters. In reality that sounds like it's fantasy, and he lived down the road in a chateau, and he ended up living out his last few years in there. So he's originally from Paris apparently.